KHAM Radio, it's your boy Tony G and Big Lou, the sports book every Tuesday night on KHAM Radio. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Whatever time we have left, we're going to devote that to college football. There's just so much NFL football to talk about. Some crazy games, some crazy overs, and kind of go from there. Our Thursday night game, Joe Flacco. They beat Pittsburgh 33-31. Flacco
hmm
came in and, did his thing. Well, one thing
Yeah.
that I know there's been times where he hasn't played well, but he has an arm. He always has had an arm, and
hmm
he's got two of probably the best wide receivers in the NFL. He threw for 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. Aaron threw for 4 TDs. He had 2 picks though. And
Yeah.
Flacco came in, and it just kind of all lined up for him. And like I said, those 2 wide receivers definitely complement his arm. I don't know how far he can take them, but all you can do is move on to the next one. The over was a doozy. They went way over.
Oh yeah.
Money to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
made
Yeah.
on that.
hmm
And if you could have picked Flacco with 3 TDs, you
I thought it.
made some
I don't
money.
think no one. Yeah. Yeah. You made some money because I don't think no one was expecting for Flacco to have the game that he had. But kudos to him. He
No,
played an excellent game and he got the Pittsburgh Steelers upset. Got the Pittsburgh Steelers upset to the point where the coach had to make a comment about them trading Flacco in the division. So yeah, but that shouldn't
right,
be an
right,
excuse. They should be ready to play regardless of who is behind, who's behind center. So,
right. Absolutely, that goes. That's just part of the deal. Flacco only had a week to. He wasn't like he was there long. Um, so they were at just as a disadvantage as they were. So yeah, there's no can't really make excuses for that. But no, it was a heck of a game, and they pulled it out. And the NFL is just the parity is so tight, and as we will see as we go down these scores, it's the talent level is really pretty equal. Um, how much more if Joe Burrow would have been there? You don't know. But like I said,
right, right.
342, 3 TDs, good, good deal. Now, our early morning game was the Rams and Jaguars. The Rams
hmm
handled the Jaguars. Um, the Rams, I know they're 5-2. They
hmm
seem to be clicking. They definitely seem to be clicking. Stafford had 5 TDs and he only threw for 182 yards.
Yeah,
I would never put those two together. Um,
absolutely.
and Trevor Lawrence threw for 296 with 1 TD. He didn't have any
One touchdown,
interceptions.
no interception. Yeah,
So yeah, and they ran the ball. Um, Jacksonville had like 296 yards rushing. Which is nothing to. They just couldn't put it
yeah.
together, and
Right.
and the Rams capitalized on any mistake that they made, like they always do. Um, and that over was 40. I think it was 42 and a half, and it got 42. Um, Saint. So the Saints and the Bears.
hmm
Tell me your thought. I'm gonna tell you this. This is what I mean. I know the poor Saints are. Everybody's throwing in the towel, this and that. Everybody knew it wasn't going to be a great year. Okay,
hmm
they are playing sporty. When I use the word sporty, they're coming to play. Um,
hmm
their
Defense
offense to
definitely
me
showed
looks
up.
way better than it. Yeah, there's some bright spots. Um, but like you said, you knew in the beginning of the year it wasn't probably going to be a Super Bowl run. They're probably going to get a lot of good draft choices, which they can capitalize on. Uh,
hmm
Kamara already took his name out of uh, the rumor mill that he does not want to be traded. He wants to be a Saint, so that's awesome. Um, I think the coaching staff is. I think they're going in there. I think they're going in the right direction. I mean, I know people go, well, wins. I mean, there's a lot of other foundations that need to be changed. So, and I
Yeah.
think it's a slow process, but I think in general they're moving in the right um, direction. Because at
Hmm.
the end of the day, the Bears are supposed to be all this and a bag of chips, and they only beat the Saints by 12 points. It wasn't like they blew them
Yeah.
out.
Right. And I accept the loss. I watched the game. The defense definitely came to play. Um, it's just that this is Sprintler Rattler is what you have. This is what you have. So they're gonna be some growing pains, the next couple of seasons for us. Um, will Olave trade out? Who knows? Um, it just depends on what the Saints are gonna do in the offseason to try to, do you sell everything off, get draft picks, and retool? Um, you know, because your quarterback didn't get a chance to sit like you wanted him to. And now he has to
Correct.
learn the game on the fly as opposed to learning the game by watching it. And he's doing okay. He's doing okay, and I'm stretching okay. But he's rookie. He's rookie. Well, this is his second
Second
season,
year,
second year with the
second
Saints.
season.
Yeah,
I mean,
second year with the
they
Saints,
gave away
and
three interceptions.
yeah, which
I mean, three interceptions. You give up three interceptions. I mean, you could easily have been down 30 points.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So
So,
they're just
so
gonna
yeah,
have to work with what they have for now, and we'll just wait and see what happens during before the trade deadline comes up.
and go from there and see which direction.
Hmm.
What do we want to? Yeah, I mean that's all. But like I said, he is a young quarterback. There's going to be some bad games. They were in this. Um, Going in the half, it was 20-7, and then it was 20-14. Then it was 20. You know, what I mean, so they were there. They
Yeah,
just like I said, just those interceptions
yeah,
hurt.
just couldn't. And it's yeah, those turnovers hurt.
So the Dolphins, is that coach going to make it to the end of the year? I don't know. I
It's
mean,
that's a good prize pick. That's a good pick 'em right there.
is there a boost on that? Can I boost my odds on that one right there? Can I get a?
'Cause,
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, because I don't.
ooh,
Because Tua
these
threw for
outings, my
three
goodness.
interceptions. He had 100 yards, three interceptions. So is it his failure to prepare? Is the coach not? And the reason why I don't mean to come down on Tua, but come on now, you're not second year, you're fourth year guy. You're a lot
Yeah,
talked a lot of said a lot of stuff last week that we kind of said, ooh, I don't know if I would have said that.
right. And then you had to come back and
And
apologize for it, and then you follow that up with this game, with your play on the field,
terrible.
which was atrocious, and it's probably put the nail in the coffin for their head coach because um of course Miami suffers from structure. They went too far over. You got to find
Yeah.
that sweet spot. And we say this every week with the Dolphins, and the reason why we keep saying it is because they keep showing us, but they got too much talent on their team to be playing the way they're playing. And it starts with the GM and the head coach might be out of there. You don't know.
GM
They
and the head coach.
too hard one season, too soft this season, and
Right.
all it equals is L's. All it is L's. A whole bunch of talk and a whole bunch of L's.
It definitely it definitely was a rough outing. They're another one. They're in for a long year. Um, Browns are 2-5. Goes to show you if they could get any kind of quarterback back there, they could. They have a really good defense. And
Mhm.
I mean, he only threw for like 115 yards. They rushed the ball. It wasn't like they were trying to push him to do anything. Um, so hats off to the Browns, Patriots, and the Titans. Patriots are on a little bit of a roll.
They were
Um,
a bit of a
they did
streak.
beat up on the lonely. Yeah, Drake May, 220 yards, two touchdowns. Cam Ward had 250 yards, one interception. But they got going into half, it was 17-3, and then they just put it on there.
And they just
Tennessee still got a ways to go.
mhm.
The Pates, hey man, give them they're starting to come around.
They're starting to come around. The structure is set. The
One,
structure is set
two,
there, and I think they're gonna be great. They get
set.
one more receiver over there with they get one more they get
Yeah, one more.
one more receiver, and I think their running game is pretty solid, but they could use a bruiser back, third down back, you know, short yardage back. But I
Correct.
think they should be good to go. Drake May has proven to be the guy, and he's been playing pretty good. So I think they should run with that. They should be good to go.
Um, right now they're in first place. First, they haven't been in first place in a few years. Buffalo has locked that down, but my hat's off to them. They're playing well. Um, the Raiders and the Chiefs. Can the Raiders really be that bad? Apparently so. I don't know. Geno Smith just, I mean, holy cow. Pete Carroll and Geno Smith, I thought them coming together. I thought, wow, this is going to be, I wasn't looking for a Super Bowl, but I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
Um, Gino just has those type of games. He just Gino will play excellent for 2 3 games, and then he'll have that one game where it looks like he forgot everything that he knew about football. The inconsistencies game to game with Gino is a problem for the team because football, it's all continuity. Everything working the way it's supposed to work. And when your quarterback is hot one day and not the next, it's hard to try to build momentum or try to establish what type of team you are. Um,
Correct.
but he can look great from time to time. 2 3 games. And then he'll have that one game where everything just goes blank. And it looks like this was that game. Uh they ran the Chiefs scored more points than they did plays, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Something like, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So they only ran 30 plays the whole game. That's but I knew when Rasheed Rice came back that everything was gonna come into fruition. So the Chiefs are
Yeah.
they're clicking now. The defense is doing great. And that offense is gonna be monstrous for the upcoming weeks.
Yes. 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 Let's see. All right. So that was, yeah. I mean, at one point, I actually took them plus 17 and a half, only because I was like, well, 17 points is a lot of points and not enough. I needed 32 plus 32. I couldn't get it. Um, Golly, that was rough, Lou. That was
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
a
rough.
rough beating. And I know they say the locker room at in Vegas is not happy. There's a lot of bickering. Crosby's not happy. Um, the owners made a couple comments, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with some by the trade date. Um, Eagles and Vikings, man, the Vikings were right there. They could have
They
beat
were
the
right there.
Eagles. They were. I'll tell you this now: the Eagles look very beatable this year.
Hmm.
I mean, to me, last year the last 9 games they played, I mean, it was tough. But this year they're beatable. You know what I mean? It's just people following through, closing it, um, and just couldn't. They just couldn't close the deal. Um, but the Vikings are moving in the right path too. Like I said, I don't see anybody that's so dominant that can't be beat. If they, right now, if there was a playoff, I don't put anyone and going, oh man, they're lights out. Nobody, not the Eagles, not the Chiefs, uh, definitely not the Bills, not Pittsburgh. And there's nobody that's really that, electric,
They're
as they
locked
say.
in. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Locked in.
yes, no, but not nobody to me. The Panthers beat the Jets. The Jets are 0-7. They're not moving in the right direction. They're not.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Golly, they're better.
we don't expect to see Aaron Glenn next season. Hopefully, he makes it all of this season. He's
Hopefully, he makes
benching,
it all.
yeah,
But
he's benching Justin Fields for Tyrod Taylor. And I, I was talking to some of my friends about Justin Fields when he was in Pittsburgh. I said I don't see it. I said there's potential there, but he needs a lot of work. Like he needs to sit behind a veteran. And I'm sometimes he looks like he's a guy that can play in this league, and sometimes he looks like a redshirt freshman. I
yeah,
don't understand it.
yeah. Now, I mean, but the Jets, that's not their only problem now. Let's be honest. They got a
Yeah,
slew of other
yeah. There's a
problems.
lot of problems there.
There's, yeah, because they're 0-7 for a reason. Um, Yeah, I feel bad for him. I don't know if he's really been in the right system. I think he's been moved around a lot. I think he's been shoved in, expected to just dominate. And I think, as we've learned in the past, um, just needs some toolage, behind some players.
Mhm.
I think the raw talent's there. Um, I do. I think the raw talent's there. But we'll have to see if
Yeah, the
they can
talent's there.
turn
It just
it
has to be,
into.
yeah,
Yeah.
just get it consistent.
Our, our,
Talent's there. It's just the
our
consistency is lost.
next, yes. Our next game is an unbelievable game. No one's ever no one's ever scored 33 points in 5 minutes and 28 seconds, apparently, in the NFL. That would be Denver and New York.
Oh yeah.
That was an unbelievable.
Wow. Unbelievable game.
They were up 32-8 or whatever it was. And they put up, I mean, it was with 5 minutes left. Bo Nix had 279 yards, no interceptions. Jason Dart had 280, 283. I mean, they were all over the Broncos. They dominated the Broncos for 3.5 quarters. And
Mhm.
then Denver came back, and hats off to Denver for pulling, I mean, once in a lifetime.
Yeah, that was the
Once in a
comeback of the year.
lifetime. Oh, yeah, yeah. Comeback, one of the greatest comebacks of ever, because it happened in the fourth quarter with 5:28, 6:28. They scored 33, or they scored 30 points or whatever they had. Unbelievable. Um, the Giants just found a way to lose. I mean, I like Jason Dart,
Yeah, I
Scadaboo.
like
I
him.
mean, they got some wide receivers. You know what I mean? That Robinson, Bellinger. I mean,
Mhm.
they got some stuff. They just got to get back to the fundamentals
Yeah,
and close. I think they got the parts. They just got to get them um all working together. It was just,
yeah.
I was like, they were in
Dable is
awe.
yeah,
They were
because Dable's not gonna be able to sit down none this season. Don't even bring a chair for him. Because
yes,
that chair is hot. And every time they lose, it gets hotter.
absolutely. The Colts and the Chargers. The Colts doing what the Colts do.
Indiana
Justin
Jones.
Herbert had 400. Yeah, yeah. He had 282 yards, two TDs. Justin Herbert had 420 yards, three TDs, two interceptions. I mean, he lit the sky up, and they were still behind. Like I said, in the third is when they put 14 because they were behind. Um, it was, what was it, 30, 32? It was 38. Yeah, and they were so far ahead of them, and they did make a little bit of a push, but Chargers, Daniel Jones, hats off to Daniel Jones. We said he was the one to
Mhm.
watch. We thought he was in a good system. Um, the Colts are for real.
Yeah,
Colts are for real. I mean, they're not. I mean, they might be the most dominant team in the AFC right now. They're
yeah.
6-1.
Here's Taylor's and Jones. That's a good a good big three for them.
Yes, it was a great. I mean, that was the Cowboys and the Commanders. Hats off to the Cowboys. Played very
Good
well.
game. Great game.
Commander,
Great game by the
command,
Cowboys.
yeah, great game. So, are the Commanders? Are they coming off that great year last year and just can't live up to the hype? I mean, because they're 3-4 right now, and they didn't play
Yeah,
that
there.
great.
Yeah, their starting quarterback keeps getting hurt. So until he fully heals, they're gonna have some issues because Marcus Mariota is not the answer. So they might be looking for something a little bit solid as a backup quarterback. But Dallas showed up. They came to play. Pickens and CD Lamb is going to be a nightmare for a lot of offensives. Javante Williams is, the new Zeke
Zeke,
3.0, and
yeah,
it looks good. And um Dak's getting his name in that. He's in that MVP candidate
yeah,
chase too. He's been putting up some astronomical numbers, but he has the weapons now and a solid
yes,
running game. So they look good. They look good. I'm looking forward to see what the rest of the season look like with the Cowboys.
yep. They're 3-3-1, um, and with the Eagles at 5-2, they're doable. You know, I mean, they're catchable, so they're in the hunt. Um, I mean, so is the Commanders. The Giants aren't. Um, so, like I said, they are definitely in the hunt. If they could just stay close enough, they have a shot at winning that division. If the Eagles can't put their foot down and take command over it by all means. Let's go there. All right, Packers and Cardinals. So we talked about this before. Jordan Love sometimes looks like unbelievable. Then other times he doesn't look very good. Arizona had Jacoby Brissett in. He threw for 279 yards, two TDs. Tight game. Green Bay came back and put 14 up in the third to win. Um, did put some points up. Green Bay walks away. They're 4-1-1.
Hmm.
Arizona's 2-5. I don't know if kind of interesting. I mean, do you get away from the coach this year? Do you get away from the quarterback this year? A lot of injuries. I mean, there's a lot of. I think at the end of the year, you paid him a lot of money. From the time you paid him, it's been it's been downhill. We can agree on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is true. It's been downhill, and they have shown no improvement. And I think it's time. Kyler Murray's been there what, 5 years,
Yep.
4 years,
Yep. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5.
And we know he's a small quarterback and things of that nature, but so is Mahomes, so is Drew Brees, you know. But he hasn't lived up to the hype or the expectations of their team, especially with the core that they have now and Marvin Harrison Jr. being there. I believe this might be the end for the coach and for Kyler.
I mean, at some point you got to go, hey, what are we doing? Where are we going? What direction? Like I said, since that 10-5, when they started out 10-5, then he got hurt. They lost two, and then they got knocked out of the playoffs. From there, it's just been that was it. And like I said, looking at Washington is the same. Like he had this unbelievable year last year, and now this year, like I said, sometimes they come in and I think they have a great year, but you got to remember you're going to have some learning curves. People got video and got all right. Falcons and the 49ers, the 49ers being the 49ers, they're 5-2. They're in the hunt. They're super well coached. We know that. Um, How'd they look to you? Because they looked, I mean, Atlanta came off the win. Um, I mean, they didn't throw the ball a lot. Christian
Mhm.
McCaffrey went off at 129 yards, did his thing. Would he? I mean, because Mac Jones only threw for 152 yards. They were very. He was
Yeah,
definitely
very
playing
conservative.
manager.
Hmm.
Yeah, Michael Penix Jr. had 241 yards, one TD. They kind of
Hmm.
kept the running game down for Atlanta.
Yeah.
San Francisco's defense. I mean, I know honestly. I mean, like I said, they're always in the mix because they're well coached, play
Hmm.
great team football. It's the whole 9 yards. I mean, that's just you may not like the 49ers, but they're very consistent. They may not win the Super Bowl every year, but it's not an easy task. Um, that is for sure. Let me check out our. Oh yeah, we're right. So when we get back, we got a bunch of picks for the week coming up. I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday, 8 o'clock. And like I said, hit us up on our Facebook page, the Sports Book, or KM Radio. If you got any kind of community events coming up, interested in advertising, being a sponsor on any one of our shows, just hit us up on Facebook at Sportsbook or at KM Radio. All right, guys, we will be back. I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Tony G and Big Lou right here on KM Radio, where we go ham. It's your boy Tony G with KM Radio and Big Lou on the Sports Book every Tuesday night. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Like I said earlier, if you guys interested in checking out our Facebook page, hit us up. We're always posting stuff. Contact us there or on the KM Radio Facebook page. Lots to talk about. Thursday night game. The Vikings and the Chargers. Chargers are going to be at home. They're -3.
Hmm.
The Vikings have a very good defense, which I think could cause some havoc for Herbert.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's. I mean, Harbaugh's going to have him ready.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. But sometimes I always tell people, or I tell myself, sometimes you got to check out the information that you have, and you
Hmm.
can't just not bet. Oh, Harbaugh's going to have him ready, but they haven't been playing well. And I
Right.
like Minnesota +3. I mean, they're very equally, but I'm going to take Minnesota +3,
Okay. Okay.
and I like the under. I like the under 44.5. Those are my two. Those are my two for on that. You think the Chargers you
Mhm.
gonna lose another game? I mean, do you think they're what do you think of the Chargers? Are they as good as they say, or are they pretty good? Or last year was a little bit too much hype?
A little bit. Just a little bit too much hype. And the only reason why I say that is because they have a quarterback that plays in California. So and this is gonna be a tough I think the Chargers are gonna take it because they're at home. I don't think Minnesota plays that well against that team at home. But they have a tendency to blow games like that. That are winnable games, but it'd be two or
Okay,
three plays that weren't executed and they get blown. So yeah, it's hard to say numbers wise, but to me it just feels like um
the Chargers are due.
the Chargers are due. Yeah.
All right, the Bills and Carolina Panthers. The Bills are favored by 7.5. On paper, you would lean. You should lean towards the Bills, but the Bills will throw a turd in the punch bowl every now and then. But I think coming off the bye, I think the Bills should put up some points. But Carolina also can put up some points because the Bills' defense is not dominant. So I'm like I always tell you, I don't really bet on the Bills. I like the Bills in this -7.5, and I like the over. I think this week you'll see the Buffalo machine roll hard, but don't get too cocky.
Right, right.
You can always check anytime touchdowns. That's another good prop on Josh.
Yeah.
He's at when he has a good game. When he has a good game, you might want to put a little money on the three. He'll have three. You know what I mean? That's not a.
Hmm.
I mean, when he's moving, he is a statistic phenomenon. When he's making it happen. Um,
Yeah.
and really, he's had some good games. He's had two bad ones. Um, but I look for them to revamp this week, and he'll have, like I said, there'll be a lot of good player prompts on the Bills and the Panthers. The Jets and Cincinnati Bengals. There's really not anything I can say against the Bengals in this game with the Jets. I mean, I know the Jets are
Mhm.
professional athletes. There's no doubt about it. Flacco played well last week um, against a team that I would say has a way better defense than the Jets. Would we agree on that?
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
So, I like Cincinnati
Hmm.
-6.5. I like, I'll tell you what props I like. Anytime Flacco, anytime both wide receivers. Chase, yeah, both wide receivers.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of props over yardage. I think
Hmm.
Flacco will have another good day in the air. Um, Cleveland Browns and the Patriots.
Mm.
Patriots are at home. Cleveland's coming off a win. So I like Cleveland in the spread here
Mm.
because they're gonna get after the Patriots because that defense can play nasty,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
especially if they could keep them off the field. Um, if
Keeping
they
them
can
three
keep
and
them
outs.
off the field, yes, I really think Cleveland with the points. which is +7, which don't be surprised if it goes to 8. And I like the under 40.5.
Okay.
I definitely like the under. If you feel froggy, Cleveland's plus 285 to win outright. If that
Mm.
defense come in and give him a hard time, I mean, Cleveland could have because with Cleveland, it's probably going to be a low score, 17 points, 20 points. I
Yeah.
mean, they're not going to put up huge numbers. Um, but I also think that I mean the Patriots are going to be at home, tough. But this is a tough defense for him to play because they
Hmm.
got the rush. There's no doubt in my they can put a quarterback on the hurt on the quarterback. Um, that's for sure. The Giants and the Eagles.
NFC matchup, NFC East matchup.
I like the
Think the
Giants
Eagles are gonna.
plus the 7.
You
I
like the
think I know
Giants
I
in
agree
this one?
with you. Well, yeah, I know I agree with you. I think the Eagles are going to win. I just think that
Hmm.
New York could keep it close enough. I agree
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I think it's going to be another heartbreaker for the Giants, but they're getting plus 7 now on the
Yeah. They
money
getting close
line.
with Scatterbo and Jackson Dart. Scatterbo. They found a two head monster. They just and with Malik Neighbors, that's a good trio.
Yeah, I mean they're like I said they'll and it's a conference game. They'll be tight, and Philly hasn't been so dominant, but on the money line it's -340. Um,
Right.
I just like the Giant. I like the Eagles to win. I like the Giants to win with the points. I just
Yeah.
think with the points is your angle. Um, because you might be able to get them. You might be able to play around with, like I said, on the kiosks and sometimes on the app. You might be able to play
Hmm.
that. You might be able to get that at +10 at -125. And I know that's some
Right.
juice to give up, but I like them with that many points because as you've seen, they did screw up and they lost yesterday, but you did see that they are coming to play. You know what I mean? They just
Hmm.
can't actually, what I mean, the quarterback's coming to play, the running backs, the defense. So they got it. They just got to learn how to control it and not to make stupid
Hmm.
mistakes. And but so at that point, like I said, with the spread and playing with the spread, um, I like the Giants, but I think the Eagles are going to win the game. Um,
Hmm.
Chicago Bears and the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens have a
Mm.
worse have a worse record. The Chicago Bears are the underdog. They're +6.5. The Ravens are -6.5. Lamar comes back this week. Tell me your thoughts. The over's 50.5.
Lamar coming back this week. This is a good thing, but he also has to get football ready. His body's got to get used to the speed, new players, you know, moving around, shifting the personnel. He's got to be ready too. And kudos for him. But I think that he has to be ready as well.
Oh, I agree. This is probably one I would stay away from. Now, it's got the over at 50.5.
Pretty steep.
It is pretty steep. Lou, I definitely agree with you. I have to look at this later in the week, see what all Chicago. I mean, they could easily put it up.
Hmm.
I mean, if Henry can get on a run, um, Lamar gets on a run, Chicago can put up some points. Um, yeah, this is one I like. So I want to look at the over on Sunday. I'm gonna put it in my little book. The Dolphins at the Falcons. Falcons at home. I mean, you have to take the Falcons all the way. They pulled Tua.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously he's going to start this week.
Didn't have a choice, yeah, but he didn't have a choice in that game.
Yeah, no, 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 no. I agree. That was bad. That was ugly. That was ugly. That performance was ugly. Um, it was bad. It was like
Yeah, it was
he got
terrible.
3 interceptions with 100 yards. Um, that's yeah. I think you got to go with Atlanta ATL. Um, the overs 44 and a half. It was which I don't like about what I don't like about the over is if they get into if they have another funky game, Miami, then they're not good for any points. Then it puts it all the scoring on Atlanta, 44 and a half points, which is possible. Which is possible. I like Atlanta minus the 7. I'm gonna
Okay.
bypass that. Uh, 49ers and Houston Texans. Tell me why the Houston Texans are favorite. Tell me so I will understand. Am I missing
I
something with the
re-
Houston?
I don't even have an explanation for it, Tone. I don't have an
It's only
explanation
one
for it.
point. Yeah, it's only
Yeah.
1 point. I mean, the 49ers are. I know they're missing some they're missing some talent. They're still 5-2. They
Hmm.
still play well. Um, I mean, I just trying to. McCaffrey's playing unless he's out. I have to look and see. I mean, I like San Fran. I mean, is there? Can you throw me something to change my mind? Why you wouldn't take San
Right.
Francisco over to Houston Texans? Well, provided there's not an injury that I haven't realized, and I'll look at
Hmm.
all that Sunday. Um, I will look at all that. Um, but yeah, I don't see. Like I said, the over's 42, and you know how the 49ers play. I mean, this could be a 17-10 game. Sometimes the 49ers will smother you. You know what I mean? And just wind
Hmm.
down the clock and just keep your defense out on the field for a long time. And I'm gonna look at the over. Wow. Okay. All right. So this game here,
All right. Mm-hmm.
the Cowboys against the Broncos. Okay.
Okay.
I think this would I think this could be a good test for the Cowboys. Um, Not saying that Denver's that much better than them, but I think
Hmm.
I think I think when it comes to coaching, I lean towards Denver. I
Yeah.
definitely lean towards Denver, and they are playing at home, and we're starting to see where some of the weather is starting to play a little bit of a factor. Like the other night with Chicago, it was pouring rain. I'm not saying the weather's going to be a factor Sunday. I'm just saying, but we're starting to get into that time of year. Um, Now, I will say this, Stan, as far as the heads up, I don't know. I haven't decided on that, but I think the way they're playing, you got to look at um, CD Lamb's catches, his yards, TDs as player props. You got to look at Dak's props. You have to look at his
Hmm.
props. Anytime touchdown. Now his yardage, sometimes they'll have him up there 250, 260. Now he ain't been there. I mean, he's very consistent, throwing some great balls, but definitely a lot of props on this. You might even look at some Bo Nick props. You might even, like I said, you might even look at Bo Nick's props. The over's 49 and a half, which is very doable with the way Dallas has put up some points. Um, but like I said, I think this would be a really good test for the Cowboys. But I like a lot of player props on this game. Not necessarily the game itself, but a lot of player props. The Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. It's minus 14. That's a lot.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that is a lot.
The money line is Indianapolis Colts minus 1100. Pretty much means you're not making any money. Tennessee Titans plus 700. And that's a lot of points. Holy cow, that's a lot of points. But as we saw last week, when they went live with the Raiders and they gave them 17 and a half, it almost didn't matter. Um, I think this is the, I think these are the type of games when you're a good team that you can't, what do you always say? You can't lower, you can't play, play to your competition. You have to play beyond your competition. You know what I mean? That's, I think that's a huge, I think that, I mean, that says a lot about your team. And I think the Colts play the way they should play
Hmm.
and not overlook the Titans, which I don't think they are. I mean, you have to take Indianapolis Colts,
Yeah. At home
Indy
too.
at home, and whatever props that you can get on Indiana Jones. I think you should look at all the props, the running props, anytime touchdown props. Um, I'm gonna pull up the other. Okay, Green Bay and Pittsburgh. What's your thoughts on this?
Green Bay, Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers homecoming from his old team, but you also have the Steelers that are at the top tier in AFC North, and they want to make sure they keep it that way. I think Michael Parsons is gonna have a field day. Aaron Rodgers is not a scrambling quarterback, and he doesn't take he he still has those down the field shots in him, but they're far and few between than last year to say.
I agree. I definitely agree with you. Um, I think Pittsburgh's a good team, but I think they can be beat. I think there's a lot of good teams this year. It's not really about me saying, "Oh, I think they're a good team." I just
Mhm.
I just I just think there's a lot of equal talent. Um, and I think the Packers defense now, Green Bay is coming to Pittsburgh, so they're not like they're in the steel curtain. Um, but I really think that I think Green Bay needs to win this. Okay, and the reason why Green Bay needs to win it because they're trying to show you that they are a good football team. You know what I mean? That they're not because there's been times when yeah, I've watched them play, and we've talked about this off camera, and we watched them play, and it's like, oh man, yeah, they're coming, and then we've watched them play and go, I don't know, doesn't look like they're going in the direction. You know, I mean, they're winning games, and they're maybe the best team in their division, but that doesn't say, you know what I mean? That's not necessarily a Super Bowl title. And Love at times has looked non-consistent. Would you say?
Yeah, yeah, non consistent, up and down. He showed flashes of quarterback that's a quarterback for the future. And then he have games like yesterday, day before yesterday.
He, like I said, I mean, we'll see. This is going to be a big test. Oh,
Yeah, so this is
it's
gonna be
going
a
to be,
test to
yeah,
see, yeah, where they stand, especially with this being a divisional game. So they might play different, but they're playing in Indy. So it's gonna be rough. It's on the road, it's loud in there. It's gonna be a difficult day for Tennessee.
yeah. We're on the Packers and the Steelers.
Packers and Steelers, okay. My bad. I looked at
Yeah,
the wrong
I was
one.
like,
But
wait a minute.
Packers and Steelers,
He
but
went back
yeah.
to,
Yeah, I went back to Indy. Sorry about that, y'all. But Packers and Steelers real quick since I spent all that time on the wrong team. Um they're gonna
it's all
be at
good. Hey,
Steelers.
yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be at
Green
Steelers.
Bay's favored. Green Bay is
Yeah,
favored,
yeah. And I think they're gonna take I think they can take that game too. I think they can take that game.
and I agree. I'm writing it down. I like. I like Green Bay in this game. I think they're going to give. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the youth is going to take over over this game in the later quarters, and I think they are going to win. Um, win by. I think they can win by 7. I do. I think if they can,
Yeah,
if
I agree.
Parsons can, if Parsons can do what I think he can do Sunday, I think he's going to cause havoc and get to Rogers. It's the late game. It's a 7:20 game. Now the over is 44 and a half. You might catch that live um,
Mm-hmm.
and see if you can get a little better rate on that. It's 110 minus 110. I don't have a favorite on that.
Yeah, I don't have one on that one either.
Yeah, it's a have to look at it come Sunday. The Commanders and the Chiefs.
Mm.
I mean, after seeing
Monday
what we
Night
saw
Football.
Monday Night Football, you want to
Mm-hmm.
lean towards the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're at home.
They're at home, so the Chiefs aren't. I mean, they're a different team than they once were. I'll put you like that. I'll say it like that. I hate saying they're not the dominant force they once were. Things
Right.
have changed. The league is spread around, so I don't like using that word. But I think what we saw out of the Commanders and the Chiefs, this is where the great coaching that the Chiefs have and the players dominant, and they capitalize on all the mistakes that are done by a lot of young players, and they just expose them. You know what I mean? They just
Mm-hmm.
expose the weakness, and the Chiefs minus 10 and a half. I mean, KC minus 10 and a half. And that's like another thing. I know some people that picked oh, Mahomes. He's running a little bit more than he was. You know what I mean? Not a lot, not like but he's scatting. You know what I mean? Like last year, I remember there was times when his player prop would be like 15, 19 yards, and he wasn't getting the rushing yards. Where we know in the past he would run for 30, 40, 50 yards. Um,
Right, right.
but yeah, but last year he could have been still hurt, and I mean, it could have been trying to pick his uh, chances, pick his times he ran a little bit different. Um, but he definitely moving in the pocket more this year. Um, I think they'll make some moves before the draft deadlines. They're just built that way. They're built to try
Mm-hmm.
to take a chance and try to add some uh, some weapons to what they already have. I think they're well aware of their weaknesses. They're well aware of their strengths. I don't think they're fooling themselves by any means. Um, but I look for KC to come out Sunday and
Mm-hmm.
put a shellacking on the Commanders off of what I saw last week, and we'll go over the injured reserve. I just think the Chief. I just think can't. I think Washington is. They got some injuries. They got some ebbs and flows that aren't. Last year everything was going. What I mean, it was every tip ball, everything was going their way. Um, this year, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you got some injuries, and there's some film on your quarterback. People are keying up on that, coming up with different game plans, and that's a part of NFL. There's nothing really to be, um, there's really nothing you can do about that. They come on, it's Henry start like you take. We're going to talk about some players. Saquon Barkley's is definitely off from last year, but last year when you say that, when I hear people say that, he ran for 2,000 yards. So
Mm-hmm.
anything you compare it with, what I mean, if he only runs for 1,000 yards, you're like, well, he only ran, that's still a lot of yards. What I mean, last year was just over and beyond. And last year, Derrick Henry was just, he's had some good games this year, and he's had some 60-40 yard games. People are keying off on him. Last year, yeah, I think people weren't maybe giving him the respect that he needed. Um, maybe some of them thought, well, he's a little, this year they're just keying up on him and they're not letting him run wild. And they know one thing: you got to hit him in the backfield. You can't wait for him to go step one, step two. He's gone. He's moving like an 18 wheeler. That's what he's doing, Lou. He's moving. But anyway, it's I think that, and like I said, I think that's some of it with getting back to my original, that's some of it with Washington.
Mhm.
Like I said, people are keying up on them. They watched them make a run last year. This year, they may make a run. The season ain't over, but it's going to be a lot difficult, um, more difficult, more difficult year. Like I said, I want to thank everyone who helps the sports book, all our KM family that helps us at the office, at the home office. And like I said, if you guys ever want to reach out, Facebook, there's there's a KM radio page. There is the sports book page. If you have any kind of community development that you're doing, anything you're doing in the community, you got an event, you got a sport. It don't have to have anything to do with sports. It could be whatever. We're having a sign up for this. We're having the 4-H club. We're interested in whatever. We'll put it on our show. It's not a problem. And we got a lot of people that sponsor our show, different businesses from Once Upon a Diamond, the Big Robbies, the home of the diamond, home of the diamond table, to name a few. Cypress Solar and Roofing. Make sure you give them a call. Tell them that you heard it from Tony G and Big Lou. All right, guys. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Tony G and Big Lou right here on KM Radio, where we go ham.
Damn.